All right, here's my special delivery from Japan, from Eastern Beaver. Going to be doing a Power Center 8 or PC8 install. That's a fuse block right there. Nice Japanese electrician's tape. And of course, at the start of the show, the wiring harness itself, of which I'm dropping parts. But we will get to the fun part here shortly. For any of you with FJRs, you know all the wiring is under the seat. So first up, get your seats out of the way. This is going to look a little different because I've already wired in some of my accessories and routed them all the way back here under the seat. I've got a heated clothing thermostat, wiring for my Garmin. This is for my Denali fog lights. So it looks a little crowded in there, but we'll clean things up as we start to get the install. Okay, now we start the easy part with a 4mm hex. Get your two little screws out of the way. And then just inside are two of these little push pins that you pop out. Got a little plunger there. And another one sort of tucked back up here, which is hard to see, obviously. With all the fasteners loose, you should be able to just pop this piece out. And the plastic is pretty flexible. Shouldn't be too big a problem. And then, in order to get our cables up here, we're going to have to connect to negative and positive. You always want to take your negative off first. And I'd probably use a wrench just because these screws are pretty crappy. And that has been on there a long time. So you can probably tell I've got most of the jumble of wires out of the way. We'll come back to those. Got a clear space to put the PC8 in. You've got a couple of snap-in or screw-in connectors right there. And then another 4mm screw right there. You want to be able to pull these loose so you can come underneath. And then we'll go up under the fairing that covers the plastic that covers the gas tank. Alright, so the next question is, where does all this stuff go? Well, here's the actual box. A couple of Phillips head screws. You probably want to point your ground and power because they'll have cables coming out this direction. I've already got a little bit of Velcro and I'll put some more down in here when I'm ready to mount it. And then this is the short end that goes inside the box. This is going to go in between a pin in the back, which I will uncover here shortly. Well, we're ready to start wiring this thing up. Now, Eastern Beaver is going to send you quite a few little knickknacks. I just use a little plastic cup here with the top so I don't lose them. And first thing is to get our terminals inside the unit. So we'll first go with the long lead that goes to your battery. And this is a locking nut, and I'll tighten that down shortly. And then, of course, I have these reversed. We want red to power, back, these to twist over, get on ground, get these screwed down, and then we'll put the trigger line in, which right here goes in between your line that goes to your tail light. for your, not tail light, sorry, the light for your license plate. And obviously this is going to have to shift underneath and go up here to connect. Hopefully this isn't too far away to see. From where the PC8 is here, I took my intercept cable, strung it underneath here, and brought it up, disconnected my license plate light, and I'm going to plug this in. I'll refocus here in just a second to show you, but I'd have to turn this one this way in order to get enough cable length to get up there, but it does fit, so that's the good news. Now I'm just going to snap these together. It's pretty obvious which goes where, and should be an audible click with a lock. Now that I am stuck together, I'm going to go back under the Yamaha clamp. Eastern Beaver included a few of these, but I've got room underneath my existing Yamaha ones to go ahead and just include these and add them. So there we go, we're attached. Now we're going to go for the power. I'm going to spare you some of the drama involved in trying to get all this stuff apart. You got to pull the side panel off, which is 3 connectors and then a little spade that it clamps onto. I had to remove bolts for this box and pop it loose, which is where the PC8 will be eventually stored, so that I could get past it with my fuse holders. Tuck it under, pull it through. I want to leave that relay here. And now we'll go up the side. You can probably see I've got some other wires routed in the same way. So I'm going to tuck this under, go through here, I'll come back and secure it. And these are meant to wrap around the far side. So I'll put my 2 inline fuses down below. I don't have them fused yet. Tuck that under, do the same thing, and then I'll come back, disconnect the screws and put them on. Alright, well, I've got the cables wrapped around, I've got them wired in. I'm going to be covering it back up shortly, and I've got my accessories wired in, and I will close up shop here and make sure everything works. Well, this might look a little unkempt, but I've got it labeled, got it tucked back in, and I'll zip tie some more of those cables in, and now we just cover everything else back up. You might notice that there's only 3 of those used. GPS, the heated clothing, and fog lights. The third one I tried was a direct wire cable for my Beltronics radar detector, and it just didn't work. It does work on its original 12-volt plug-in, so I guess I'll go with that.